something extraordinary going on in Barrie, Ontario. No one seems to know exactly what I'm on.
Welcome everybody to another episode. Team Bayfield support the scene. This time we have Ryan from Cursed Arrows and we have special co-host Matt again. Welcome both of you.
Thanks.
Stoked to be
Thanks for
here.
having me.
When you started as a two-piece, did you have particular inspirations that you pulled from when you thought, okay, we're going to be this two-piece band? How are we going to, let's say, compensate for the other instruments that aren't going to be at play right now? And then what is that sound going to be?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a really organic thing. When we started in 2007, I'd played music for a bunch of years, and Jackie had played on and off, but she'd never been in any bands. She'd never played a drum kit. We bought a drum kit, and I don't know, we felt comfortable with it just being the two of us. It kind of, we didn't really plan it to just be the two of us, but that's how it worked out. And we sort of found it from there. So, I mean, it was 2007, well, it was like right when the White Stripes finished up. And, you know, so that was huge. We were like, well, look what they can do with that. We thought we could have fun with it. Between those guys, the Evens, Ian Mackay and Amy Farina, we were very inspired by the first couple of Evens records. Very different sound, but just, you know, two people, drums and guitar. Yeah, those were kind of our launching off points.
Because I think as soon as the White Stripes were done, that's when you released Death Rattle Blues, which actually was like my first introduction to Cursed Arrows, and it was excellent.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it was that tape got a handful of notice. It kind of had some legs of its own, and I think maybe that was part of it. It was like, well, the White Stripes are done, and so we got a lot of that. We were never consciously going for that necessarily, but they were a big influence. Yeah, for sure.
It must be hard to be like a two-piece because all of a sudden everybody assumes, oh, you're a two-piece band. You're like the White Stripes. I'm like,
yeah,
well.
Yeah. that was it. That was the stock. Yeah, okay, sure. It was a good launching point for people to you know, they see a man and a woman on the stage with the guitar and the drums, and that's the first thought. So I was always okay with it because I thought they were an incredible band. So yeah.
It's never your fault, it's never your fault. Duplicity, when venom drips from my mouth.
While we're on the topic of the two of you guys and you guys working together, how do you guys like describe your writing process? Is one of you like a main writer? Do you guys bring ideas to each other, or kind of come up with them together organically?
Yeah, it's changed over the years. It's always been really organic. I mean, when we started out, it was we would just sort of play, and a lot of the songs that, like a lot of those early songs, what we played was the song, and then we would kind of figure out, okay, how do we want to sing on top of this, and what kind of words are we going to put in here? Over the years, I mean, we still do a lot of that, but it's become more of, I think around 2010, I want to say, Jackie started writing songs on guitar, and that kind of switched the dynamic up. I started playing drums. I'm not a great drummer, but we kind of did a swap on certain songs. So
cool.
we started playing with how we did it to keep things fresh, I guess.
That's awesome.
And so it sort of evolved over the years, right? Where to the point where we're at now, sometimes she'll write a full song and I'll add some stuff, and vice versa. I'll write a whole song and she'll add stuff. But so it just depends, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. You guys have like really cool tones on all of your albums. Like they vary quite a bit and change a lot. Let's talk gear for a little bit. What kind of gear do you think like defines the sound and the tones you guys have created? It could be guitars, pedals, whatever.
Yeah. I've gone through amps over the years, but I had for probably a decade. I played a Gretsch, a Power Jet.
Cool.
That was the guitar. That was probably the sound for the most part.
Okay, very cool.
The first record, the Knives Are Falling from the Sky, I had a big hollow body Gretsch. So there was a little bit of that early on, but then I had this Power Jet, and that was kind of, I think when I got that was probably the High Five record, Richard. From then on was that guitar. And so that string of shows I was talking about, 2019,
Yep.
we opened for Teenage Head in Waterloo.
That's sick.
It was an awesome show. It was a really great crowd. We're opening for this legendary Canadian punk rock band. And the very last note of our set, I lifted the guitar up over my head like this, and I was just going to bring it back down, and it went like, it was gone. Like it went up and it was gone. And
Oh, no way.
So it came down on the head, and you know those necks are notoriously flimsy, and
Right.
it broke off completely. It's in a closet, so
Oh, no way.
kind of sad. So I'd say the majority of our sound was that guitar, but it surprised me because when I broke that, I got I'd wanted to play an SG for years. And
I
so
noticed
picked up-
recently
Yeah.
you've been using the SG in the live videos too. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably the last year and a half or 2 years that I've been playing that, and it surprised me. It didn't. I don't think I missed I had the Bigsby on the Gretchen, so that was the only adjustment. But outside of that, I think I think that sort of helped me realize not as much of my sound was in that guitar as I thought.
Okay.
I got this
Cool.
SG, and I was like, okay, I still sound like me. I think.
Yep. Totally.
So the Gretsch is on standby until we can get that poor thing fixed up. I think outside of that, the one real consistent with consistency for my sound was I still use Zvex, a box of rock. It's basically a JTM 45, like a cranked JTM 45 sound in a pedal. And
Cool.
I've used that for years, so it isn't like this. It's just sort of a gritty thing, and I can sort of back off on the volume and clean it up a bit. But that thing's always on. So
Nice. Okay. Awesome. So that's definitely an integral part then.
it's a good
cool.
chunk of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of going along with the sound and the tone of Cursed Arrows, there is this very prevalent vein of sort of social and political work that's inside of all the lyrics. Was there any particular event in history or in time that made you think, well, this is something that I need to write a song about, and I want to get people more involved in this cause?
You know, there was some stuff early on, like maybe that very first record, there was a little bits, but then the Telepathic High Five record so we put that out 2009. We would have been writing those songs 2008. It was sort of that whole trajectory towards the end of the 2000s between the end of the Bush years and
So
just
the war on terror.
But yeah, basically that whole 7 or 8 years leading up to writing those records, it was feeling frustrated with that stuff and with what was happening here with Harper at the time. It was a slow burn.
Your most recent release actually came out with some of our hometown friends, Tarantula Tapes.
Yes.
So
shout out to Barrie.
Yeah. Actually, we got a copy there.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, gotta have one. How did you get linked up with Tarantula Tapes?
We've always loved Barrie. We connected with Barrie a couple of years ago. We started playing some all ages shows there and sort of met everybody and played with handfuls of bands. So I think it was between just sort of meeting the whole crew there. It happened very organically, I guess. I don't have a great answer for you.
Oh no, but, that's cool. I just wondered if it was something that was more recent or if you guys have had ties for a long time.
No, it hasn't been a long time. I'd say over the last couple of years, just connecting with everybody who's there. I mean, we've been just north of you guys in Huntsville now for 4 years.
Cool.
So I think we connected a little better with everybody there once we were closer. We were in Toronto for years, but yeah, we sort of got tighter with everybody the last 2-3 years. Yeah.
I love the new EP, and I think like what sets the tone for it as well is the very first track, because Rebuild is feels like just like an anthem that anybody should be listening to. Because I appreciate the fact that even though a lot of the songs on it, they address that there are problems that are obviously prevalent in our world, but then you're also offering a solution.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. It sounds like I don't want to be the white knight who charges in and here's how we fix it. But yeah, that song came out of me really fast. That was last summer. I think it was. I can't remember. It was early last year. It was like, wow, the world's kind of falling apart right now. And I mean, I'm always writing songs about that stuff, so it was extra inspiring. But that one popped out in a day. Like that was, I sat down and there was a song. So I'm really happy with that one.
How would you guys describe the growth of your sound between your first album and your new album, Mage?
I think, I don't know, we honestly, I don't think we've ever thought too hard about what the end result would be, or what it is that we're making, what genre it is. Or I think that's the one thing I've loved the most about even our progression over the years, is that I never quite know what's gonna pop out of us, you know. Like this Mage EP is it's got a bit of everything. It's a little all over the place, but all of our stuff is. The last record we put out before this was almost entirely acoustic and piano and orchestral and synth stuff. It was very different, mostly due to the fact that we had a baby in 2015. So the loudness kind of went away for a bit. I think the main thing is that we put out a record of completely improvised music too. I mean, that's a weird one. So I think as far as the progression goes, we're always just trying to do something new, right? We're always trying to just see what comes out of us at any given time, I guess. It's always a reflection of where we're at in the moment.
What else is in the works, or what's coming up for Cursed Arrows?
We, I don't think we've written this or said this anywhere else, but we basically have an entire full-length record ready to go.
Wow.
We recorded, I guess 14 or 15 songs. And so 5 of them were like, all right, let's do this tape EP. Let's get something out there now. The plan was we wanted to do our next full length on vinyl. And when COVID hit and everything sort of fell apart, it's there, it's ready to go, but we're just kind of waiting for when is that going to feel right to put that out into the world. But yeah, it's a 9 or 10 song record.
Thank you so much again for joining us for this interview. We always like to ask this question to our guests. Are there any particular local bands that people should be listening to right now while they're still waiting at home until we can all be in a club together again?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna plug our label Tarantula Tapes, who put out our Mage EP, because I know you two know. Everybody else should know. There's a lot of incredible bands, a lot of amazing local bands in Barrie and beyond. We've got lots of Hamilton friends. I should shout out our bass player Nick Johannes, makes music as the Kettle Black. I don't know if you guys have heard Nick's music. Really cool stuff. Yeah, go check out Nick's stuff. Check out the Tarantula Tapes roster, because we're proud to be on with a bunch of incredible bands. Yeah.
Thank you so much again for taking this time. Is there a particular song off of the Mage EP that you want us to play as the credits roll?
You know what? Let's do Rebuild as One, because we talked a bunch about it, and it's a good summation of the whole thing. Yeah.
Awesome. For everybody who's watching, this is Rebuild as One by Cursed Arrows off the Mage EP. Go grab a copy of the tape from Tarantula Tapes. If you get their entire digital discography on Bandcamp, it's only $35, and it is worth every penny. Matt, Ryan, thank you so much for being here again, and I hope 2021 treats us all a little bit better.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.